right up here. That turns on. All right, so we're here at KPU in Music 1130. Let's hear it, everybody. Music 1130! As you can see, as always, I'm the most excited person in the room, but that's okay. So we're going to make music today in GarageBand 10. The first thing we want to do is start a new project. And we're going to make an empty project. We're going to call it, oh, it hasn't even asked for a name. Let's give it a name right away. Save as Keyboards Unite. We're going to call it Keyboards Unite, and I'm going to save it on my desktop so I can find it later. All right, so essentially what we're doing today is we're learning how to hook the keyboards up to the computers so that you can play stuff in. And you'll see that the default instrument is always going to be an electric piano. I don't know why, but we can play some electric piano. Okay, so if you wanted to write something angsty like that, you could. However, I like to write me some techno because that's just what I do. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up with a little theme, and we're going to learn how to make a theme together. So I'm going to make myself some new instruments. So I press the plus button here, I choose software instrument, and I go create. And then I'm just going to duplicate this. So what's the first letter of duplicate? D. So you hold down the command key, and you go D, 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 duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. And now I have all these instruments and all of this potential. So here's my blank canvas. And because I am a pianist, I'm going to start with a piano. And you can see over here, this is our library of sounds. And we just got to scroll back. It usually kind of has it right near the end of each category. This is in the vintage electric piano. I'm going to go to piano, Steinway, okay, so that's a nice inspirational little sounding piano and chord progression. So let's come up with a chord progression. Who knows what a chord is? Yes. I don't want to use anybody's names because this is going to go online. So yes. Yeah. She reads off my worksheet that I gave them today. Oh, it's just you look down and the worksheets are there? I was like, okay. No? Really? You might need to get your eyes checked. Yeah, because it's like right there in front of you. She is correct. Unnamed student A is correct. It is a series of notes that you play simultaneously. And we can have happy sounding chords. What are happy sounding chords called? Major. That's like you take your dog for a walk, right? And what are unhappy sounding chords called? Minor. That's like when your dog gets hit by a car, then it's minor. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. A controversial statement from the teacher. So we want to come up with some kind of a chord progression. Let's maybe go with the most common chord progression that we have in Western music, which is a 1 chord, a 4 chord, 5, and a 1. Okay, so that's like many, many, many pop tunes right there. We can also think of chords in more of a jazz way or more of a guitar way, where we can think of them as keys. So we have C major. Here, I'll do it the way I did it before. C major, F major, G major, and C major. Now, if we wanted to be more interesting, we could go C major, A minor, F major, G major, and then C. So let's write that down on the board. So we're going to go like this. C major, A minor, major, G major, C major. Okay? Or we might call this a 1, and a 4, and a 5, and a 1, and a 6. So you're probably learning about this in theory. You're going to be learning how to play these things in your keyboarding class next term. And for those of you who won't be taking that course next term, you're going to be doing some in this class today. All right. So I have all of these tracks here. And what I want to do is record some stuff on them. So you'll see, if I press the record button, gorgeous. Wow. That's what you call improv jazz. Jody Prosnick is going to kill me. Isn't it freeing to improvise? So as you can see, it records exactly what I put in, like exactly how I play it. And if we double click on it, shazam, we can see it here in our editing pane. So if we watch it, and I can do all sorts of stuff. I can move these around by grabbing them. This is what you do to your sister if she's driving you crazy. And then she punches you. Or at least that's how it was in our house. I drove my sister crazy, and then she would just punch me, and then I'd cry, and then she'd get in trouble. Sound familiar to anybody? Yeah. I was such a younger brother. And you can even do stuff like this. You can change the length. So if you just scroll over the edge, you can change the length. Now, on a Mac computer, how do we copy things? There's a couple of ways, right? We can do Command-C for copy, but you can also hold down the Alt key and drag something and it copies it. So if I hold down, or sorry, Option. If you hold down the Option key, did I say Alt? I'm speaking in PC. I'm going to burst into flames. No, this is sacrilege. Hold down the Option key, and if you drag it, it creates a copy of it. So now you can make like chords. You can grab sections like this. You can copy those. You can do this. You can copy that. So now listen to this incredible composition. And now it's serialist music. It's the 1950s, war is happening, paintings are abstract, ballet is unrecognizable, and music has been deconstructed. Arnold Schoenberg makes his way to the stage, and he plays this. And receives a standing ovation. So, by showing you these random notes, you can kind of see the potential for what we might be able to do in this program. Now, notice here that you can also switch over to notes mode. Okay, maybe not. Usually what happens is it shows it as a score. All right, maybe I'll come back to that. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. I guess she'll die. In other words, I don't know why it's not working. So I'm going to get rid of this. Now let's go back to our chord progression. So we have a C, an A minor, an F, a G, and a C. So we know that we can change the tempo of our song. So if we're recording, we can turn our metronome on. I have to stop first. Metronome on. Continue recording. So we can play to that. We can increase the tempo. I guess you can't do it in real time. We can make this faster. I kind of like that tempo. So I'm just going to jam. Just going to jam on this. I have no idea what I'm going to make, but I know it's going to be wick. So check this out, all right? This is how we do it in Gordon's house. So I'm going to go into record. I'm going to give myself actually 2 beats of a count in, just so that I'm super ready. Now, I can either press the record button or I can press the first letter of record. What's the first letter of the word record? R. So I'm going to press record R. It's going to start to recording. It's going to give me 2 bars of click, and then I'm going to record. Okay, so what did you think of my performance? Was it all right? But you can see down here that my notes are a little bit off. See how this is bar 2? That's the first quarter note, second quarter note, third quarter note, fourth quarter note. See how those don't really line up? I can do something magical. It's like a Harry Potter magic move. It's called quantize. If it was in Harry Potter world, it'd probably be called like quantiziosa or something like that. And oh no, people are thinking I'm really uncool right now. It's all right. Story of my life. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to quantize time, and we're going to go into the pull-down menu, and we're going to decide where we want all these notes to be moved to the nearest kind of note. So are there a lot of 16th notes in this? A lot of fast notes? They're just block chords, right? So I'm going to move it to the nearest 8th. Watch what happens. You watching? Bam! Oh, now I am perfect. Okay, digging that. Now you don't even have to play perfectly to sound flawless. Now I'm going to make myself a bit of a loop here. So I'm going to move this so it ends right on that bar. I'm going to copy this. How do I copy this? Option. I'm going to hold down Option. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to make myself 4 of them, because music likes to happen in 4s. All right. So now I'm going to add myself a little bass line. I'm going to scroll back. I'm going to find my basses. I'm going to go into synthesizer, and I'm going to go into synth basses. There we go. So the cool thing about having the keyboard hooked up is you can kind of audition them. Oh, yes, we're liking that. So I think maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to make myself a little bit of an intro. I'm going to move these up. I'm going to come back to here. I'm going to press record. And then I'm going to go in here. I'm going to take a look. Oh, it could be better. I'm going to quantize. This time I'm going to quantize to the 8th note. And then, now, I'm just going to like riff over top. So I'm going to just press record, and I'm just going to make myself a bass line. Okay, that's kind of cool. I'm going to go back. I'm going to quantize. 8th note. I'm going to copy. Here's the faster way. Grab both. And now, I'm going to get rid of this boring piano sound. Sorry, pianists. It happens. Whoa. I have no idea what I did there. Back you go. So I'm going to go into synth. I'm going to go into lead. No, maybe I'll go into chords. No, stop doing that. I'm going to go into, classics. So I'm going to put this on loop now. I'm going to loop this on here. I'm going to solo it so I can hear what it sounds like. And I'm going to try out all the different synths until I find one that I like. Boring. 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 Okay, which one do we like? Do we like this one? I'm just going to say yes. We're going to go to outer space. All right. So now we've got this little riff. Nice, I dig it. Now, let's get rid of this looping. Let's choose another instrument. Oh, it's because I keep using 3 fingers. All right, let's go into synth. Let's go into lead. And let's see. I want something really wacky. That's like going to the club. Let's just go to the club. Why not? Okay, now. Whoa. Let's add in a little layer there. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to fake it. So I've got some mistakes in here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fix them. So instead of having to re-record, I'm just going to go in. First I'm going to quantize. Quantize to the 8th note. That's going to work for me. All right, let's go up in here. Give ourselves some more room to work. So we can see I got a whole bunch of unnecessary notes. Don't need that note. Don't need that. Don't need that note. So this is actually the wrong chord. I did the F. It was supposed to be an A. I'm just going to pull it down to A. Oh. There we go. Now we've got an A chord. Oh, okay, hold on. It's supposed to be a minor, not a major. I think that's good. Let's go back. Oh my goodness. Oh, I changed the wrong note. It's very confusing out in space. Going down. Sorry, bear with me as I use a trackpad. Okay. Okay, I think I got it. We got some unnecessary notes. Digging it! And now I'm going to copy it. I'm going to copy it. All right. And then I'm going to save. So now that I've done something worth keeping, you want to save because computers are just machines and they crash. Okay? So save it. Now I'm going to quickly grab a beat. I'm going to open up my loops. I'm going to close my editor. Let's go to beats. No. So my tempo is 160. We can find beats that actually are designed to play at 160. So you just select the tempo button here and it organizes everything in order of tempo. So let's see what's designed to be played at about that tempo. So we got a lot. Whoa. Yes, some old school funk. Okay. Let's throw this in here. Got a whole bunch of tracks I don't need, so I'm going to select, and I'm going to go Command Delete. Bye. Let's get rid of this one. See ya, see ya, see ya, bye. Okay, so now we've got a beat. I could copy it, or I can just drag it. Voila. Okay. Now I could get all fancy with my beats, but I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to put in one. So now we've got this sketch. Okay, times 4. So now we can also go in and automate. So let's say we're going to fade up our drums. I'm going to pan these to different parts of the speaker. So I'm going to put this more to the left. I'm going to keep the bass in the center. I'm going to put this more to the right. That's kind of cool. So to dig that. And I'm going to automate some filters. So on this one here, which is kind of our lead, let's go through. Let's find maybe resonance, reverb. These are all the different things we can do to it. Sustain, transform. Let's try resonance. I have no idea what this is going to do. I'm going to solo it, play it from here. Going to grab this resonance envelope here, and I'm just going to make myself a dot on each one of these, and then I'm going to move it across. And hopefully this will do something cool. Okay, what does it sound like? So you can hear it's kind of doing a bit of a filter sweep. It's just kind of shaping it a little bit. And you could spend a lot of time figuring out what all these different filters do and make it way more interesting. Okay, so that's adding some automation. And then maybe at the end, I could fade it out at the end. I could fade instruments in. So I could do something like this. Fade the piano in. And then you have more of a finished sketch. All right, so there's like a little instant piece of music. And here are some of the things that I want you to keep in mind while you're making your composition. I want you to show me that you can quantize, because then it means you can play really sloppy and make it sound nice and neat. So I'm going to be looking for evidence of quantization. I want you to use automation, so automating your volume or your panning or some kind of effect like echo or reverb. I want to see that you're using a combination of instruments that's kind of interesting, that you're incorporating loops that fit within it. I want to make sure that you're not just randomly choosing things and throwing them together, because this isn't like abstract collage. It's collage, but it's a very purposeful collage. You're collaging different instruments, different loops, different sounds together, different patterns, different chords, to make something that has kind of reason and purpose. Okay? For those of you who don't at all play an instrument, I'm going to help you, or we're going to make like a simpler version of it. But we're also going to talk about how chords and the keyboard works so that you get just a bit of an intro. Okay? Any questions? Yes.
How do we plug this in?
It's gonna take us a while to plug everything in. Maybe let's end this video. Everybody say goodbye. Oh, and yes, more enthusiastic responses from Music 1130 here at KPU in Langley. Until next time, I'm Dr. Gordon Cobb, and you know what? I don't know what else to say, so let's kill it with a skillet.